I'm Catrine McGregor. Obviously, you probably know that since you came into the library to see me. And I've got to say that probably what I'm most excited about seeing all of you is that you will actually get references about people I talk about. Because most of the crowds that I teach are like between 18 and 30. And I make references about experiences I've had and people I've known, and they go, no clue who you're talking about. So this is wonderful. And Madeline, who works with me all the time, has heard so many of these stories now that she kind of knows who they are. But I mean, I tell people I had the great opportunity of working on Golden Pond, and have some really funny stories about Katharine Hepburn, which most of the people are like, who? She related to Catherine Zeta-Jones? No, they wouldn't know her either. She's too. Justin Bieber's about the, you know, that's about the level that they understand. But I have one story I have to tell you. It has nothing to do with the film business, except that it's about somebody in the film business, just because this story cracks me up. And again, none of the people I teach normally have any idea who she is. But my son's godmother was June Allison. So I think most of you probably know who June Allison was in this crowd. And June, I loved her more than I've loved just about anybody on earth, but she was kind of a space cadet and a total klutz. Like, she always said that she could trip over a pattern in a carpet, which was true. But after she was married to Dick Powell, of course, who died of cancer, and she eventually remarried a dentist by the name of David Ashrow, who was just lovely. And David was totally not Hollywood. He was a dentist, and they moved up to Ojai, California, if you guys know where that is. It's just kind of a very laid-back existence. And David decided to put in a garden. June had never seen a garden. She was from Brooklyn, you know, and then moved to LA and had people waiting on her hand and foot. So she was like, garden, don't know anything about garden, don't know about growing things. So she didn't cook at all. And David had said, is there anything in particular you'd like for me to grow for you in the garden? She said, not really. And he goes, well, think about something that you really like, that you'd like for me to grow. And she goes, I know. She goes, because I know you use it a lot when you cook for me. Will you grow us some garlic powder? And this is just June. Excuse the language here, but it's kind of funny. That's why the story is actually funny, because June Allison, who was known as America's sweetheart, you know, and so sweet and so innocent, and kind of had that image, and the little bob haircut, and the whole thing, and her little lisp that was so cute. She was about this tall, and when they were living in Ojai, she called me. I was living in LA, and she said, can David and I come spend the night, because we've got a meeting about a possible contract for a commercial, and it's going to go relatively late. We don't want to drive back to Ojai. And I said, that's great. I happen to have some friends staying at my house who are from Ohio, who knew nothing about the film industry. They weren't exposed to it at all. So they found out June Allison was going to be there. They were about her age. They were dying that they were going to have dinner with June Allison. So she got done, and she wouldn't tell me what her audition, well, it wasn't really an audition, it was a meeting for a commercial. She wouldn't tell me what it was. And finally I said, look, I'm gonna know what it is, because you booked it, you negotiated. She goes, okay, it depends. She goes, God, that's so embarrassing. So she was there that night, and like I said, I don't think June had ever stepped foot in a kitchen. And I keep my houses very chilly. I would rather put on a sweater and have a fireplace and not be really hot, but June was so tiny that she got cold very easily. So she was at my house, even in LA in the winter, it was a little bit chilly in my house. And I had some appetizers in the kitchen. I got up to go get them. She goes, oh, no, I'll get them. And I'm thinking, do you even know how to carry a tray? You know? So she went into the kitchen and she's passing them around, and these people are completely freaking out that June Allison is giving them hors d'oeuvres. And she comes around to me and she leaned in and she said, would you turn up the fucking heat? And I said, I'm sorry, June, I didn't hear what you said. Would you repeat that? So she was not the sweet, innocent little person that you saw. But something that you said about in life in general, go for it. If there's something you want to do, go for it. I mean, what can happen? People can only say no or it doesn't work. It's not going to kill you. You're going to feel better for doing it. I produced a series of video games that were super popular in the 90s, I guess. And as technology got better, we were one of the first companies to use actors in the games instead of just digitizing them, or you know. And but the production company, they were in Utah, and they didn't know anything about how to deal with actors or how much they cost or any of that. They were just this, you know, very successful little company in Utah, but they just had no idea. They'd never worked with actors, and that's why they brought me in. And so we got done with this one game, and the owner of the company said, he said, okay, now that the game's done, and we'd used some actors in that. I think Margot Kidder was used in that one, and Margot Kidder was my roommate, a very, very dear friend. Maddie was with me when I found out she died, and I went into shock for about 45 minutes and then just lost it. But we got done with the game, and the owner of the company came up to me and he said, okay, so we need a voiceover to tie this all together, and it's got to be like the big PI in the sky. You know, it's like a combination of God and a PI. And he goes, we just need a great voice. And I said, okay, what are you thinking, you know, as far as the voice? And he said, well, James Earl Jones. And I said, okay, so you want a James Earl Jones voice? And he said, no, I want James Earl Jones. I went, okay, how much are you going to pay? And he said, $5,000. And I said, he won't answer a phone for that, you know? So he said, really? You don't think he'd do it? And I was like, for $5,000? Oh God, this is so embarrassing. And he goes, well, give it a try. And I thought, oh God. So I knew his agent, and I called his agent, and I said, Dick, I have a really, really embarrassing question. And I said, you can hang up on me as soon as I ask you the question. It's fine, I'll forgive you. I said, I'm working on this video game, and we would really like James Earl Jones to do a voiceover for it. And he goes, okay, I'm going to stop you right now. He goes, it's like a minimum of $100,000. I mean, no matter how long it is, no matter what. I mean, he got paid that, more than that, for just the CNN thing. This is CNN. So I went, well, it's been nice talking to you. And he said, well, wait a minute. What is this? And I said, it's a video game, you know, blah, blah, blah. He said, I'll tell you what. He goes, send a copy. I'll tell Jimmy. It seems so strange calling a man like that Jimmy, but that's what people call him. I'll tell Jimmy to be expecting a package from you with the first few games that you've done in this series, and I'll tell him what the offer is, and he'll laugh at you and say no. And I said, oh, that person there did a great job. They got this huge film can, and they got little, the name of the series was Tex Murphy Games, and they got these little Tex Murphy chocolates, and Gigi worked on one of them, and they put the two former prior games that they had done, and it was really cute. Just really cute, and they wrapped it up, and they mailed it to James Earl Jones's house. And about 10 days later, his agent called me, and I went, oh God. And he called me and goes, okay, this is ridiculous. And I said, what? He goes, Jimmy's going to do it. And he goes, but you can't tell anybody. So of course, I keep my word, so I haven't told anybody. I said, for how much? And he goes, what you said, he's doing, I can't, this is so ridiculous that he's doing this. I guess he came home and the whole thing was unwrapped. And he walked in and his son said, how did you get these free Tex Murphy games? And he goes, well, they want me to do a part now. He goes, this is my all-time favorite video game. Dad, I will be so upset if you don't get a part in this video game. So he actually did it for $5,000, which I'm not supposed to tell him. He did it for $5,000, and his son was thrilled. Written for the regional actor, and I wrote these a while back. I don't mention anything about digital things, so I'm selling these for $5. A lot of the information in there is completely valid. This book, I don't know if any of you guys remember a TV series called Kyle XY that was on, I guess, about 20 years ago. And April is a very good friend of mine, and she and I sit and talk all the time because she was in Boise, she's moving back to LA now, which is devastating me. But we would sit and talk around actors, and they'd be like, this is so interesting, we need this information. So we sat for about 3 weeks and talked like 5 hours a day and just recorded our conversations about all kinds of things in the film industry, stories of ours, and how to do this and how to do that and what not to do, and agents and the whole thing. And we just transcribed it. And now this one, I'm really embarrassed to say, Maddie texted me just as I was leaving, and she said, don't forget to bring the books. And I looked through the garage and there were no books to be found. So if anybody wants one of these, we're going to take your information. It will come to me, I will sign it, and then I will send it to you. And these are little motivational CDs that are $5 that are just for actors to listen to on the way to an audition. Because you guys are awful, you psych yourselves out. You guys decide on the way to auditions that you're completely wrong for the part, which is not a good thing. But anyway, I was really here to meet you guys, and hopefully you'll be at the class tomorrow, which is fun. Yeah. So thank you for coming out. Hopefully I'll see you